Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing? I hope you're having a great weekend. I decided to go ahead and do the flan video and the cheesecake flan video. Now, this flan is different than your regular Hispanic or Latin flan because, and it's the difference is in the way I make it. I don't use what is called baño de Maria, which is when they put one pot inside another pot that has water in it and then they put it in the oven. I just do it in a regular corningware like this. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you the ingredients that I use to make the flan. I use to make the first thing I do is I make caramelized sugar, and I use 1 cup of white sugar and 1/4 cup of water. So that's the first thing I do, and I'll show you how I do that later. Then later on, I'm going to put these in the blender. It's the condensed milk and the evaporated milk. I use these exact brands. I don't use the Great Value one or anything that's not these brands because it will taste different, or differently, should I say. And then the Philadelphia cheese also, I use this brand. I don't use any other brand because it does make a difference. And then you're also going to need 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. That one, I really don't care which one it is. I like this one. So that's the one I will use. You will need a can opener and a blender. Oh, and then don't forget, you are going to need 8 eggs. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and point the camera over there to my handy dandy pot. And then the lights, send the lights over there. Okay. So how's everyone doing? Hope everyone is doing good. So I'm going to go ahead and pour the water in this little pot. And this pot is where I'm going to make the caramelized sugar. Okay, so I pour the water in there. And my white sugar. My family loves this. They beg me to make it. They're like, when are you going to make flan? We want cheesecake flan. And I buy the one in the store and they're like, yeah, that's fine, but we want yours, Mom. So I'm finally making it. And so I don't know why I have this habit. Let me move the camera closer. I have this habit of cooking everything on high. And that's not exactly the best habit for a cook. And that's how you know I'm not a professional cook. I do things very differently. So I put the water in the sugar in here, 1 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of water, and then you're supposed to have it at maybe medium heat, and you just kind of let it melt, if you will, kind of mix the sugar with the water. So yeah, and just very patiently wait till it caramelizes. And while it's caramelizing, I have the message for today is clear your mind of can't. So if you think you can't do something, think again. Because sometimes we get into it and we just try to do something and it doesn't quite work the way we want it to, and we want to give up. But there's always a way. In life, there's always a way to make things happen and to make things better. So stay encouraged. And like I tell my students, if at first you don't succeed, try again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And they're used to me saying that, where I start saying it and they're already echoing the answer. So it's really cute. And I want them to live that way, to know that things don't happen right the first time. Sometimes when you're learning how to write letters, they don't always come out nice the way the teacher wrote it. But you just have to keep trying. And I always thank them for trying. because that's what's going to get them to where they need to be, is by trying, right? Everything that we say, everything that we do is something that we learned. We made a mistake. We made it better. Learn from our mistakes. It's very important. Okay, so now instead of it looking white, it has kind of like a clear color. I'll show you in a little bit once it gets closer to where I need it to be. But you're just going to continue to patiently mixy, until it starts getting brown. But what I try to do is I want to make sure that it doesn't burn, because you don't want burnt caramel. Definitely not. So you have to keep watching it and stirring it, watching it and stirring it. I almost feel like you're too far. Let me get you a little bit closer so that you can see what I'm seeing. Let me turn it down. Okay, so there it is. And mix. Let all that moisture leave the sugar. So you want it to start boiling, but not too much so that we don't burn it. So it's starting to boil now, you see? And that's okay. Just don't let it get over 350, which I wouldn't know because I don't have a thermometer. But I guess as I start seeing it brown, I'll know that it's getting there. But this is great, and it smells so good. Maybe my daughter will come over and be my helper today. They're busy in their rooms, doing the teenage stuff. But I'm excited to do this because I haven't done this in a while. And I know this is one of their favorites, so. How's everyone doing? Hope you're doing good. I have to tell you, I had, the last couple of days have been pretty rough for me. That's why you haven't seen me on here. I've had some challenges, some struggles, and yeah, I just really had to go inwards and try to find myself again and find what it is that I want out of life, you know? What is it that I want? What is it that I need? How do I get there? So I did a lot of soul searching and meditating and crying and exercising to just kind of get clarity on things that were going on in my life. And I just feel like this morning I woke up with a new strength, a new like a very, very special book says, though the sorrow may last for the night, joy comes in the morning. And that's how I felt. I felt very sorrowful last night and the previous days, and just a really heaviness in my heart and in my throat. And this morning, I woke up with a renewed sense of, it's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Life is going to be okay. Everything is under control. Take things one moment at a time. And we sometimes forget that we want to see the end result. Kind of like this caramel. I want to see it already cooked and brown and ready to be put in that Corningware, but it takes time. And if I rush it, it'll burn it, it'll mess it up. So I just have to give it time. And guys, that's how life is. We have to give it time. Let it blend. Let everything blend in the way it's supposed to. Yeah. But anyways, I'm philosophical today. Okay, so there's my caramel. It's still not brown. And I am so tempted to put it on high because that's my solution for everything, is just put it on high. But today I'm going to be good. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to take my time and let it do what it needs to do. But if you want to learn how to make cheesecake flan the Hawkins way, stay tuned because this is going to be good. The good thing about these videos is that you don't have to sit here and wait for this caramel to brown. You can fast forward to the next part. So that's why I don't feel too guilty making it last, because you can always fast forward if you get tired of this. But it is browning and it's burning nicely, and at least you get a sense of about how long it's going to take to caramelize. It's getting caramelized. You see that? It's looking good. I think you're going to like it. I hope the spoon doesn't melt. That's not going to be good. All right. Cheesecake flan, Marie style. Actually, to be quite honest, the person that taught me how to make this, what is going on with my hair today? Wait a minute, I need to fix that. Excuse me, guys, but I put some some hairpins to kind of get the hair to do what I wanted it to do, and I forgot to take them off. So now we're good. That's better, right, guys? Okay, thank you. I gotta look cute for these videos. Or try anyway. So now is when you use those muscles and mix it, because it's starting to get hard. So you want to make sure it doesn't get lumpy. So when it gets to the point where it's really, really, really hot, you got to get those muscles going and mix it and mix it. Get it all yummy. Now, I was watching a video on how to make caramelized sugar, and the girl was saying not to mix it because it'll crystallize. But I've always mixed it. I never just let it cook like that without mixing it. So I guess everyone has their own style of doing things, and that's okay as long as it turns out and they're happy. We all have different ways. There's not only one way of doing something, guys. There's many ways of doing it, and as long as you get to the same result, you're good. Again, another example for my students. As long as in math, the answer is the right answer, I don't care how they get there. If they have to count blocks, if they have to count their fingers, if they have to do mental math, if they have to do little lines, if they have to use counters, whatever it is that helps them get to the answer, then that's what they use, and it's okay. So use those tools. Oh, I'm going to be so sad if this doesn't come out the way it's supposed to. Please, Lord Jesus, let this work. Maybe that lady was right. Maybe I wasn't supposed to mix it so it doesn't crystallize, because it's starting to look crystallized. Well, if this doesn't work out, this will be a great video for how not to make caramelized sugar. Either way, like I was saying, you live and learn, and if at first you don't succeed, try again. This is the perfect example of crystallized sugar. Well, all right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is a first. I guess I could use this for something else, right? So this is what it looks like to crystallize your sugar. Okay, yeah, this is how you don't make caramel sugar. So, moving on to take 2. We are going to try it again, because do I look like the kind of person that gives up? No. All right, so let's try this again. I'm going to go ahead and put another cup of sugar. Oh, man, this is crazy. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put another cup of sugar. 1 cup of sugar. All right. And I'm going to pour it in the pot. This one I guess I could use for something else. I don't know what yet. We'll figure it out. Anyways. So let's start again. And instead of putting a quarter cup of water, I'm going to put less than a quarter. So let's see if that works. Let's see if that works. Okay, so I'm going to put this much water. It's a whole lot less than a quarter cup of water. So I think that was it. I think I put too much water in it. All right. Let's see how this works. Lord Jesus, let it work. And maybe I'll listen to the lady and not mix it so much and see if that works. Okay, I'm just going to let it get warm without touching it. Like the lady on YouTube said that I should have listened to. But that's okay. Like I said, you live and learn. All right, and let's put it there and just kind of let it do its thing. But guys, look at my crystallized sugar. I can make some type of dessert with that, maybe. I don't know. I feel bad throwing it away. Yeah, that didn't work. So while the sugar is caramelizing, I'm going to go ahead and mix the other ingredients. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to open the eggs and put them in the blender, okay? So we need we need 8 eggs, so we'll just take them out one at a time. 4, 5, 6. Do I want to put 8 or 7? Let me think about this, because they're big. I think I'm going to use 7 because they're big. And here's 1 and 2. And I saved these in my compost. 3 and 4. Put these in my compost thingy. That's going to go in the garden. How not to make caramelized sugar, just the way Marie did. All right. 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's how you do it in the kitchen. You just have to play around and figure things out. It's like a big science experiment. Hi, honey. I'm making cheesecake flan. And I just made my first batch of caramel sugar. You want to look at it? It's in the sink. It was a complete disaster. And it's on video for everyone to see. Apparently I mixed it too much, so it caramelized. And no, it didn't caramelize. It crystallized instead of caramelized. So total fail. Okay, so while that is going, I'm going to put 7 eggs in the blender. And move this forward. So there's 7 eggs in the blender. I am going to open my Philadelphia cream cheese. I'm still watching my caramel. I'm not mixing it. I'm just watching it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it, Marie, or it'll crystallize like the other one. Ay, ay, ay. So while the caramel is cooking or browning, you put 7 eggs in the blender. If they're smaller, put 8. And then you're going to pour in the whole block of cream cheese, Philadelphia. Then you're going to put the entire can of condensed milk. I'm gonna be so sad if that caramel doesn't work. All right, and then just pour the entire thing in there. You need a spoon. I think I can find one in here. A spoon. Assistant, can you hand me a spoon? Just a regular spoon, please. That'll work. Okay. Thank you. And make sure you empty the entire content of the can of condensed milk, because that's what's going to give it that nice sweet flavor. Okay, there you go. And then we're going to shake the can of evaporated milk. Make sure it's carnation. And you're going to shake it really good. And open it. And again, you're going to use the entire can. So condensed milk, evaporated milk, Philadelphia cream cheese, 7 eggs, and vanilla extract. 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. I just kind of eyeball it because that's how I roll. But it's 1 tablespoon. And so there you go. So now we're going to blend this. Let our flavors blend nicely. Let them blend. Let's see what the caramel is doing. Just take the wheel. The caramel is looking better. I'm not touching it because I don't want it to crystallize like the other one. Get closer so you can see it. And this is where we're going to be putting it in. Throw these away. Put this away. I like to clean it like a check to make sure everything is blended nicely. Looks good. I'll give it a last blend right before I put it in the Corningware. Okay, let me see what this caramel is doing. Okay, it's definitely looking better than the last one. Not exactly how I want it, but I do know that when I used to make it before, I never put water in it. So maybe that's the mistake I'm making, because before I started this video, I went on YouTube just to make sure I know how to make the caramel. And I should have just trusted what I already know that I do every time, which is just put the sugar in it, and that's it. I don't put any water in it when I do it. But now I want it to be all professional and do it like the professionals do it, and it didn't work for me. So this is going to have to do. This is going to have to work. It's still caramelized. And it's browning, which is a good sign. Yeah, I think this is going to be better. Not perfect, but it's a lot like our family. Not perfect, but it works, right? We just have to go with the flow. Go with the flow, my friends. Yay, it's browning. Look. All right, so let's let it brown. Cheesecake Cheesecake flan is what we're making today. Cheesecake flan, and it's going to be yummy in the tummy. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Yummy in the tummy. Okay, I see a big piece of, okay, I'm turning it off because it's way too hot and even way too hot for the spoon. So look, it's nice and brown, looky there. Whee! Okay, so before it gets hard, I'm gonna go ahead and pour it on the bottom of the Corningware. And this is the one I'm using. You can use any one that you'd like. Just make sure that everything fits. Ay, qué rico. This smells so good, guys. Look at this. Looky there. Okay, so I'm pouring it like so. And you have to be careful with this, guys, because this is extremely hot and it can burn you. All right, so once you do that, you take the Corningware and you just kind of go around like this and just kind of let it go around like this and just kind of go in the edges to kind of make sure you can cover as much as possible the bottom with that caramel, okay? And that is going to be the goodness for later. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and set up the oven to 375. I should have done that already, but this is when I remembered to do it. So this is when I'm doing it. So then I'm gonna blend this one more time so it's nice and creamy when I pour it in there. Just enough to get all those flavors mixed up again. Perfect. Okay. So now we have our flan, cheesecake flan mix. We're going to go ahead and pour it in the Corningware. You may hear little cracks, and that's okay. Okay. There you go. And I like to use all of this stuff. I just don't have a spatula to get it out. This one's not going to work. That one has a sugar, so that's going to have to work right there. There you go. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and put it in the oven. Put it in the oven. Carefully in the middle of the top rack. And that's going to sit there for about 45 minutes to an hour. I'll just keep watching it. And like I'll shake it a little bit to see if the middle part is still shaky, then it's not ready. And then I'll do it again. And then eventually I'll get a toothpick and see if it's cooked in the middle. And that's how you know that it's time. Let me turn off the water. So yeah, that's how you make cheesecake flan. As soon as it's ready and I usually let it cool on the stove and then for about an hour, and then I put it in the fridge. And usually the next day is when it really tastes good. Like I wait for the next day, but sometimes I'll wait just a couple of hours and then we'll try it. So as soon as it comes out of the oven, as soon as it's cool, as soon as it's been in the fridge, I'll cut a nice piece. I'll take a picture of it and then I will share that with you. Yeah, so that's my how to make cheesecake flan video for you. I hope you have a fantastic day, week, month, year, everything. Please take care of yourselves and I love you. Besitos.